hadirin. Topik yang kita akan kupaskan untuk hari pertama ini adalah satu topik yang amat dekat dengan kita pada waktu ini, iaitu New Norm Adaptation, antara cabaran dan solusi pandemik COVID-19. Tidaklah molek sekiranya saya tidak memperkenalkan panel yang akan mengupas topik kita pada hari ini. Yang pertama bersama-sama kita adalah Puan Anita Abu Bakar, iaitu Presiden Persatuan Kesedaran dan Sokongan Penyakit Mental atau singkatannya MIASA. Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Selamat datang Puan Anita. Diharapkan sentiasa Puan sentiasa berada dalam keadaan yang sihat dan sejahtera ya. Saya dimaklumkan Puan Anita juga telah dipanggil sebagai penceramah atau speaker di beberapa program, antaranya program yang untuk membuat perkongsian berkenaan topik New Norm Adaptation ini. Tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya menjemput yang dihormati, tapi sebelum tu saya nak tanya dulu.
Aminur Rashid, saya tak berapa dengar lah, putus-putus. Assalamualaikum. Aminur Rashid. Halo, Assalamualaikum.
Salam, okey. Boleh dengar saya ke?
Okey, boleh Amin. Just now your line quite laggy. Biasalah bila online ni ada masalah teknikal sahaja. Okay, so Amin boleh proceed. Assalamualaikum Puan Anita.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Saya boleh dengar. Siapa nama Puan Puan Syairah
Boleh dengar saya dengan jelas ya?
Boleh. Saya dengar
saya
Puan dengan jelas.
Kalau line saya
tak, saya dengar Puan jelas, tapi siapa nama Aminur Rashid
Amin, ya.
Amin. Tapi Amin tak boleh. Dia putus-putus, lepas tu saya tak dengar dah.
Oh, okey. Amin mungkin ada masalah teknikal sikit kot.
Mungkin, tapi line saya pun mungkin naik turun juga ni.
Alright. Sihat ya Puan Anita ya?
Sihat Alhamdulillah. Puan macam mana?
Alhamdulillah sihat juga. Rasanya ni first time kita bertemu ya?
Betul. Kita dah mula live ke ni Puan?
Dah mula daripada tadi. Plaza ni dia ada kongsikan data survey sikit, pelajar-pelajar yang laksanakanlah survey ni semua. So kita serahkan pada Amin semula.
Okey. Kita dua language ke Puan hari ni?
Ya.
Kita dua language ke hari ni? Boleh cakap boleh. English ke macam mana?
Boleh. Kita boleh dua language lah.
Boleh, okey. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama.
Tanpa melengahkan masa lagi. Hello, boleh dengar saya?
Boleh Amin, putus-putus tapi.
mengulaskan berkenaan topik pertama kita. Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih Amin. Minta maaf ya Amin sebab saya sebenarnya tak boleh dengar. Saya dengar persilakan je. So insyaAllah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and a very good morning everyone. Pertama sekali saya nak mengucapkan tahniah kepada Bakti Siswa Kumpulan 15 Universiti Putra Malaysia. Saya tak pasti whether the VIPs are here today, tapi insyaAllah saya address mereka juga. Tuan Haji Muhammad Aris Fazila, Timbalan Pengarah Pusat Kurikulum dan Pembangunan Pelajar UPM, Nur Fasiha Anasiha, Pegawai Psikologi, Pejabat Kesihatan Daerah Keluang dan juga Encik Taufik Mahmud Kaunseling bidang bimbingan dan counselling. Thank you very much everyone, especially the students for attending this session. InsyaAllah hari ini saya daripada pihak MIASA, jadi saya Puan Anita, Presiden dan juga pengasas MIASA. I am also a person with lived experience. Saya adalah seorang individu yang mempunyai penyakit mental. Jadi I will be wearing two hats lah today insyaAllah. Jadi saya akan mulakan dengan berkongsi slide saya insyaAllah. Boleh nampak ke? Amin, boleh nampak ke Amin? Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Saya termute pula. Boleh Puan?
Boleh
nampak dengan jelas?
Okay, alright.
Boleh.
Alright. Boleh. Okay, so I will go ahead and begin. Jadi tajuk kita pada hari ini adalah New Norm Adaptation. Tajuk, saya difahamkan tajuk program adalah Mental Therapy for New Norm Adaptation Jadi Between Challenges and Solutions of COVID-19 Pandemic. Jadi sebelum saya masuk kepada topik kita ni, of course a little bit would be the overview general overview about mental health. Jadi saya tak begitu pasti in terms of mental health knowledge of the students of UPM, tapi saya akan mulakan dengan perkongsian on mental health lah insyaAllah. Jadi to begin with, I would like to share with you this video. So this is actually a video on stigma because as many or most of you know, I believe that stigma is the biggest barrier to mental health. So a lot of people that go through mental health struggles ataupun ada penyakit mental sendiri, they internalize stigma. Jadi bila mereka internalize stigma, then you don't seek help because you feel embarrassed, you feel ashamed with your mental health challenges that you're going through. So I will go ahead and share this. Hopefully semua boleh dengar
Berkena dengan dia.
Boleh Puan?
As if we could tell what is wrong about a person from what is right just on sight.
Boleh, saya boleh dengar.
Just a simple matter of right or left. That if you're right, then you won't be left to wonder on your own if it is normal to feel left out and be all alone. That you have to deserve fitting right in. So you keep everything in, because what matters is what's inside of you. The more you keep, the better you think you get. Because people only understand different when it is an accent or a color or a sin. So even when your body is breaking from within, you try to behave the same as everyone else. Despite feeling that you're lying through your teeth, spirit seeping through stitches that grafted their words onto your skin. Man up! Orang lain lagi susah. I turned out okay. Get over it. Sikap sikit pun salah. Don't mind them. They didn't mean it. You don't deserve to live. Wonder what it would be like if they actually meant it. It already felt like they did. Maybe that was why some of us tried giving up. Living was already hard enough because it works a little differently for us than it does everyone else. So we tried to find ways to set our minds to rest, only to discover that dying was harder. Our souls just wouldn't let go, and our minds couldn't tell why. You start wondering what is wrong with your body. Sometimes it feels like the wrong body. Where your heart is an old car doing 180 and every interaction is a traffic collision because every pulse is like an accident about to happen but never really does, feeling like it already did, until crashing is the only way of resting that you can think of. You wonder if your body could last the distance. It's going to break because your spirits feel like it already did. Maybe that's why some of us drown ourselves in them, because that's the only way to raise them when you're sinking. Because addiction is the only way you hold on to something. The same way how memories hold on to you. And the regrets, the meds, silences, the comments on your timeline, their voices. Kena dengan dia. Hati dia gelap. She looks depressed. He likes to be by himself. Dia kena buat. Dia kena bersyukur. Dia kena ingat Tuhan. Like how they do, using God's name in vain to say He created everyone the same. Not realizing there is a difference between equality and reality and how that affects your sanity while still having the audacity to treat you differently. This is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Since they don't mind, we don't matter. It's about time we all do. We're all great minds in the making. Refine our senses, assign our minds to read the signs and learn the symptoms instead of being quick to define. Realize that some minds are more like minds that can be tripped by our lines, turning bodies into battlefields of a war that is lost in the silences. When a heart breaks in a room and there is no one else around, does it make a sound? Stigma is the lock we put outside that room, keeping them in. It is a label that we put on that door saying, leave them, because we were too afraid to listen, to look at ourselves, only to ask too late, what did he mean? When did she say? Why did we see? What did we do? Kena dengan dia. Instead of just asking, apa khabar?
Alright, so this is actually a Great Minds campaign, hashtag Apa Khabar, and we did it in 2019 to really, engage in with society, talking about stigma, because as we know, when there's stigma, the harmful thing about stigma is because it will lead to discrimination. And till today, stigma continues to be that barrier, not only in Malaysia but across the globe. So when we do programs like today, for example, this is actually one of the good ways to reduce stigma, to increase mental health literacy, and to hopefully normalize this conversation surrounding mental health, so that people in need will reach out for the help. So jadi itu apa yang kita harapkan outcome-nya daripada program-program seperti hari ini, insyaAllah. Jadi untuk pengetahuan semua, MIASA adalah Persatuan Kesedaran dan Sokongan Penyakit Mental. Jadi kita adalah peer support group, ya. We are a mental health advocacy tetapi juga peer support group, di mana peer support ni ramai sebenarnya yang tidak tahu it is actually evidence based. Dan saya sebenarnya sangat suka because I've seen till today a lot of universities and schools have been very progressive in terms of creating peer support groups, ya. Tambahan lagi dalam pandemik COVID-19 ini, sistem sokongan sangat penting, ya, sebabnya kita orang kata terputus, ya, daripada our support system. Jadi kalau kita boleh buat peer support group secara virtual pun sangat membantu sebenarnya. Jadi peer support changes lives, and a lot of people don't know that peer support has been around, has been evidence based for 21 years sebenarnya. Jadi how does peer support make a difference? Jadi saya kongsikan sedikit. Apabila kita contohnya, ya, ada penyakit mental, kita internalize stigma, dan kalau kita tidak internalize stigma pun, kita sebenarnya akan berasa sangat keseorangan, because in the first place, ya, apabila di fasa awal penyakit kita, because we feel that our condition is unique, our illness is unique. Mungkin selalunya disebabkan oleh kurangnya pengetahuan. Mungkin kita tidak pernah bertemu dengan orang yang ada penyakit mental, mungkin kita tidak pernah dengar, ya, tidak pernah berinteraksi dan sebagainya, dan disebabkan oleh itu we will feel very alone, and sometimes it is difficult for us to see a way out because of the symptoms of the condition and because of the lack of knowledge, and also because of the perception, the existing perception yang kita dah ada. Maknanya persepsi sedia ada yang kita ada, ya, tentang masalah ataupun isu kesihatan mental ataupun penyakit mental yang memburukkan lagi keadaan kita dan stigma kita terhadap diri sendiri. Jadi peer support ni, kumpulan sokongan ataupun sokongan peer ini sangat penting daripada segi it increases self-esteem and confidence. Apabila kita tahu bahawa penyakit kita bukan unik, isu kesihatan mental ini adalah perkara biasa, maka sudah tentu kita tidak akan berasa keseorangan. It increases sense of control and ability to bring about changes in life. Apabila kita boleh embrace condition kita, maka sudah tentu it is easier for us to get out from it, kan? Dan juga it increases empathy and acceptance, increases sense of hope and inspiration. And it also makes us understand bahawa treatment is available and with treatment we can actually recover. Dan saya rasa yang paling what is eye-opening sebenarnya adalah it decreases psychotic symptoms, it also decreases substance abuse and depression, and reduces hospital admission rates and longer community tenure. Jadi sebenarnya ini kita dapat lihat ya, apabila kita tidak keseorangan, kita duduk dalam keadaan berkumpulan ataupun keadaan berjemaah, kita sebenarnya dapat menumpang kekuatan semangat daripada rakan-rakan yang lain, daripada pejuang-pejuang yang lain, terutamanya daripada mereka yang telah pun melalui proses penyembuhan dengan efektif. So this is why peer support is very, very beneficial and important. Okay, a little bit of overview everyone about the situation in Malaysia. Just to give you an insight sebenarnya why does it exacerbate the situation sebenarnya, the structural problems ni. Kalau kita tengok daripada kajian mobility 1996, kemudian 2015, kemudian kita ada untuk adolescents 2017, kemudian yang paling baru kajian mobility ni 2019. So if you look at all these surveys, you will see 1996 to 2015, there's actually a threefold jump. 10.7% to 29.2% of people with mental health issues in Malaysia. Belum lagi menjadi penyakit tetapi adalah isu kesihatan mental. Tambahan pula dalam pandemik COVID-19 ini, apabila tercetusnya pandemik ni, sudah tentu ramai yang terkesan daripada segi impak kesihatan mental itu sendiri. You know, even people that are normal, yang mungkin dulu tidak memahami, today with the pandemic of COVID-19, with the measures of the lockdown, with everything that is happening, the normal people are getting a glimpse of mental health struggles ataupun even mental health conditions. Sebab kalau kita tengok sebenarnya sepanjang sejarah manusia, apabila berlakunya pandemik, epidemik, peperangan, kelaparan, famine, hunger dan sebagainya, ramai yang akan jatuh kepada anxiety, depression, PTSD, kemudiannya suicide risks increase, people resorting to harmful coping mechanisms dan sebagainya. Jadi lifestyle sendiri pun becomes very unhealthy, kan? Kalau kita lihat sendiri ni, we are currently witnessing it apabila kita berada dalam MCO, kan, dalam lockdown. Apabila kita terputus daripada sistem sokongan, when there is a lot of uncertainties, kita tidak tahu contohnya berapa lama MCO ni akan kekal, rocketing numbers of COVID, ramai yang sudah pun meninggal dunia dan sebagainya. So this continuous, orang kata, uncertainties will create a lot of anxiousness, anxiety, uncertainties, panic, fear, kemudian kehilangan pekerjaan, kehilangan punca pendapatan, kehilangan orang tersayang, grieving becomes very real, kemudian exacerbation of domestic violence, risk terhadap orang kata pejuang barisan hadapan, wira-wirawati, petugas barisan hadapan. So there's so many things, guys. Dan bukan itu sahaja, apabila pandemik COVID-19 ini berlaku, kita ada parallel pandemik sebenarnya, which is the pandemic of mental health. Jadi hopefully apabila kita dah nampak apa yang sedang berlaku, we can make that quantum leap of preparing ourselves to address these issues of mental health struggles and also mental health conditions. So these are some of the structural problems. Inadequate mental health system, sudah tentu lack of mental health financing. Kalau kita tengok setiap tahun hanya about 1% diberikan kepada mental health, dan kemudian a big chunk of this, which is about 66% guys, is given to the mental institutions, the big psychiatric hospitals. Ada 4 di Malaysia, Dan kemudiannya hanya 1% daripada the people that have mental health condition are being treated because mereka ni di mental institutions kan, so the 99% of those with mental health conditions are in the community, so they are undertreated and underserved because the bulk of the money is given to the big 4 psychiatric hospitals. And kalau kita tengok, there is insufficient mental health services, comprehensive mental health services dan juga human resources, ya. Psychiatrists are lacking, psychologists, counsellors, social workers, peer support workers sendiri pun tidak ada. Jadi if we look at the requirement 1 kepada 10,000, ya, sebenarnya pakar psychiatry kepada population, this is the number that is required, ya, yang disarankan oleh WHO. Tetapi di Malaysia, 1 psychiatrist is serving a population of 100,000. So this is how small the number is. Low mental health literacy sudah tentu. Kalau kita tengok, ya, everyone, from the National Health and Mobility Survey 2019, kita tak perlu lihat pun kepada mental health literacy. Health literacy sahaja is only 1 in 3. So just imagine, itu health literacy. Mental health literacy sudah tentu jauh lebih rendah. Jadi this is the situation. And of course the discussion, ya, of mental health ataupun mental health condition, why is it important, ya, at a global level, at a global scale. 300 juta rakyat sebenarnya, or people, are estimated to have depression, which is equivalent to about 4.4% of the world's population. This is a huge number. And why is this worrying? It is worrying because one of the symptoms of depression is having suicidal thoughts and ideation. And if these conditions are not treated, kalau tidak diberi rawatan, tidak diberi bantuan, tidak mempunyai sistem sokongan yang ampuh, crux of the issue, ya, underlying cause of it is not being addressed, the thought process is closed, the person will and can contemplate suicide, and unfortunately sometimes they will choose to end their lives, and not because they want to die, but because they want the pain to end. So apa yang kita perlu fahami di sini adalah suicide is preventable, mental health condition is treatable, and treatment is available. Jadi kita semua ada peranan sebenarnya untuk membuat perubahan, to make a difference and change, ya. Okay, so in Malaysia, most recent National Health and Mobility Survey, 2.3%, which is about 500,000 of people in Malaysia having depression. A very worrying number is 424,000 of these people are children, unfortunately. So this is a very worrying number. We have to do more. So I will show you this video. So what is mental health? Sebab selalunya kan kita menggunakan terma mental health dengan mental illness ataupun mental health condition, ya, kesihatan mental, penyakit mental, interchangeably, but it actually means, 2 different things. Okay, so hopefully all of you can follow our page so that you can, you know, at least get some information about mental health. Kita boleh mendengar ya, banyak sebenarnya program-program yang dijalankan oleh MIASA. You know, we do a lot of public forums as well to really provide knowledge and information to the public. Dan yang paling penting untuk kita fahami bahawa perkhidmatan ada, you know, perkhidmatan kesihatan mental itu ada, dan juga kita menawarkan perkhidmatan ini secara percuma untuk golongan B40. And also it's highly subsidized ya untuk other workshops dan sebagainya. Jadi please check us out as well. Okay, so kita dah tengok tadi kan what is mental health. So is one's emotional, psychological and social well-being. So it affects, you know, how we handle stress, relate to others, make choices, and dia sebenarnya adalah you know, how you interact with your friends, family, bagaimana kita menyumbang kepada masyarakat, bagaimana kita menangani stres, bagaimana kita menjalankan rutin ataupun fungsi harian. Jadi bagaimana kita nak tahu perbezaan di antara kesihatan mental dan penyakit mental adalah penyakit mental tu apabila dia mengganggu fungsi harian kita, bermaksud kita sudah tidak lagi dapat berfungsi seperti biasa, dan kemudiannya penyakit mental itu adalah penyakit seperti mana penyakit fizikal itu adalah penyakit. Jadi sesiapa pun boleh mendapatkan, boleh you know, can be inflicted with a mental health condition given enough factors. Jadi apa yang penting untuk kita fahami adalah faktor-faktornya adalah pelbagai ya. So what are the factors that can lead to a mental health disorder? FAQ yang sering kita dengar adalah kalau ibu saya ataupun bapa saya ada penyakit mental, Puan Anita boleh ke saya mendapat penyakit mental? Okay. So the first factor is predisposing factors. Biasanya hereditary kan. Kita sebenarnya we cannot inherit a mental health condition. Kita tidak boleh orang kata inherit daripada ibu bapa kita, tetapi we can inherit the susceptibility ataupun kecenderungan untuk mendapatkan penyakit mental boleh, tetapi perlu dikombinasikan dengan faktor-faktor yang lain ya. So that is predisposing factors. Mungkin kita ada komplikasi ya sewaktu dalam perut ibu kita sebagai contohnya, tetapi faktor itu sahaja tidak mencukupi. You have to have precipitating factors, maknanya specific events or triggers. Contohnya kehilangan orang tersayang, apa yang kita selalu dengar, chemical imbalances in the brain, kehilangan pekerjaan, punca pendapatan, you know, all these specific events boleh menjadi salah satu faktor penyumbang. Kemudian dikombinasikan pula dengan perpetuating factors. So conditions that make it an endure kan. Mungkin kita lambat mendapatkan rawatan, mungkin severity of the condition. All this in combination boleh membuatkan kita lebih cenderung. Kemudian sudah tentu faktor-faktor risiko kan. So sebagai contoh, people that are in rural areas as compared to people in urban areas, mungkin mereka lebih cenderung ada faktor-faktor risiko kerana stress source mereka lebih konsisten sebagai contohnya, ataupun mereka yang have low mental health literacy, kurangnya pengetahuan. Sebab tu kalau di luar bandar ni akses kepada information menjadi susah kan, menjadi sukar. Akses kepada perkhidmatan kesihatan mental juga susah. Jadi ini adalah faktor-faktor risiko lah. Dan kemudian I think many of you know this is substance abuse lah, penyalahgunaan dadah dan alkohol sudah tentu membuatkan seseorang itu lebih cenderung untuk mendapat penyakit mental. Dan kemudiannya medical condition lah, contohnya macam thyroid kan, it can mirror kan anxiety. Contohnya kalau kita ada critical condition, cancer ke, high blood pressure dan sebagainya, kita lebih cenderung untuk mendapat penyakit mental. So if you look at this, these are all factors yang menyumbang ya kepada seseorang untuk mendapat penyakit mental, tetapi dia perlukan pelbagai faktor. Dia tak boleh macam one factor and then you get a mental health condition. It takes, you know, multifactorial. Dia memerlukan waktu for it to build up dan kemudian dia meletup dan menjadi penyakit. Jadi dia bergantung kepada contohnya personality juga, bergantung kepada threshold, pain threshold, stress threshold. So bagaimana kita menjaga kesihatan mental, maknanya are we doing things that you know are helping our mental health or not. Jadi semuanya secara combination ni sebenarnya banyak faktor-faktor dia. So it is not so easy to get a mental health condition in that sense. Okay, kalau sebagai pelajar ya, as students, what are the sources of student stress? So there are many sebenarnya, excessive workload, contohnya worrying about meeting deadlines and upcoming exams. Kalau kita tengok dalam masa pandemic of COVID-19 ni, sudah tentu studying online kan, kita tengok banyak sebenarnya student complain ataupun bersuara yang memberitahu bahawa it is very challenging to do classes online. There's screen fatigue, kemudian stresses lebih bertambah kerana nak buat work group discussions menjadi lebih challenging, nak bertanya soalan lebih challenging dan sebagainya. Dan of course lack of social support, sebab sebagai student kita lagi suka kalau boleh berjumpa kawan-kawan di luar, minum kopi, apa orang kata bersama-sama kan. Tetapi bila kita dalam alam maya ni, virtual, this becomes very challenging. Kemudiannya kita perlukan juga rutin ya guys, schedule, sebab kalau tak kita memang akan rasa very serabut. So kita dalam keadaan ini mungkin lebih challenging kerana tidak tahu bagaimana nak balance work and study itu sendiri, and also feeling unsure about what to do after graduation, uncertainty sebabkan kita tengok banyak orang dah kehilangan pekerjaan. So is there going to be a job for us or not, so these things are all contributing lah sebenarnya. Okay, so how do we take care of our mental health? Biasanya kalau kita memberikan penumpuan ya selalunya kepada kesihatan fizikal, tetapi bagaimana pula dengan kesihatan mental kita sebenarnya? So what can we do as students to take care of our mental health? Jadi having a sleep routine is very very important guys ya. Getting enough sleep, 6 to 8 hours, eating well and on time, exercising 3 times a week is very very good. Doing things that you are passionate of. So I always say, invest in a hobby ya, ini sangat penting. Membuat kerja-kerja sukarela, giving to charity, going to ibadah ataupun spiritual classes, for us to really understand, the meaning and purpose of, this life ya. Kerana saya tengok ramai sebenarnya daripada remaja, youth that come to MIASA biasanya mempunyai apa yang kita panggil sebagai existential crisis kan. Banyak soalan, kenapa saya hidup di muka bumi ni, apa tujuan saya, kenapa ada kesengsaraan di dunia ini sedangkan Allah Maha Pengasih contohnya. So all this kenapa ni yang will create a lot of anxiousness, anxiety, dan kemudian akan fall into depression dan sebagainya. Jadi all these big questions must be addressed. And I see a lot of students kan, they like, you guys like to read so many books and information sangatlah orang kata available and accessible. Tapi apa yang penting di sini is however interested you are and passionate you are about certain topics, it must be guided ya. Jadi kalau kita nak membuat pembacaan tentang filosofi dan sebagainya, please ask your teachers, have discussions and conversations so that you are guided and you have answers to these big questions that you're having. Spending time with family, social connectedness, very very important guys. Being engaged in meaningful activities for yourself, all these things really help. Dan kemudiannya apabila berada di dalam lockdown, to have a schedule ataupun a routine, not to be rigid, tetapi at least you can declutter what is in here and you can plan your day, which will really ease that anxiousness that you have, and you know what to look forward to. Jadi benda-benda ni semua sangat membantu insyaAllah. Okay, so the impact of uncontrollable stress, I think we all know. Mental health issues definitely. Kemudian physical symptoms, sebabnya kita akan berasa stress bagus sampai dah optimum. Kalau kita over that graph, kemudian kita everything will deteriorate. So you will feel mungkin fatigue, kita akan berasa headache, mungkin sakit-sakit fizikal, demam, sesama, sakit tekak dan sebagainya, it will come. And then of course it will be very difficult for you to focus dan sebagainya, susah nak tidur, tak selera makan dan sebagainya. And of course then it will create unhealthy lifestyle lah. Ini yang berlakunya unhealthy coping mechanisms. Ya, jadi apa sebenarnya the common mental health issues ataupun mental health disorders ya, anxiety and depression. So these are the two most common ones. So you feel worried, tense or afraid, but it is actually a natural human response kan. Apabila your body it feels that you are under threat, of course it is a response to keep us safe in that sense kan. Okay, so when does it become a problem? If it impacts your ability to live life fully, maknanya dia mengganggu fungsi harian, jadi di situ kita tahu something is not right. Okay, so examples, it lasts long ataupun the feelings of anxiety can become very overwhelming ataupun kita punya worry become very excessive ataupun kita mula avoid situations, apa sahaja yang kita rasa mungkin buat kita anxious, kita akan cuba hindar ataupun kita akan cuba avoid. Lepas tu all these worries, overthinking ni menjadi susah untuk kita control. Regularly experiencing symptoms of anxiety termasuklah panic attacks. Serangan panik ni menjadi lebih kerap contohnya, and kita sudah menjadi suka untuk enjoy our everyday lives. Kita dah tak look forward to other things. Jadi anxiety disorder ni ada beberapa lah: panic disorder, generalized anxiety, social anxiety disorder, specific phobias dan pelbagai lagi. Banyak sebenarnya penyakit-penyakit mental, dan penyakit mental di bawah the umbrella of anxiety disorder juga banyak. Jadi panic attacks ni apa yang kita lihat dalam waktu pandemik ini, sebenarnya lebih ramai dan lebih kerap orang melalui panic attacks ataupun serangan panik di mana it can be a very very horrifying experience kalau kita tidak tahu cara untuk menangani serangan panik ini. Jadi dalam satu saat you will feel all these overwhelming emotions, termasuklah physical manifestations. So it can be palpitation, rasa susah nak bernafas, rasa numbness, rasa nak pergi tandas, rasa nak muntah, rasa nak tercekik, dan yang paling menakutkan adalah when we are gasping for air to breathe, we actually believe that we're going to die. Jadi sebab tu serangan panik ni sangat menakutkan. Okay, depression is the other condition that is very common, and depressive disorders ni pun ada pelbagai. Yang sering kita dengar is MDD ataupun major depressive disorder Jadi ada 9 simptom kepada kemurungan, di mana kalau kita ada minimum of 5 out of this 9 for a minimum of 2 weeks dan kita tidak mempunyai masalah fizikal yang lain, that means we have ruled out any physical conditions, kita ada possibility mungkin kita ada depression. Jadi feeling depressed or irritable, losing interest and pleasure in activities that we used to enjoy, kurang makan, lebih makan, kurang tidur ataupun terlebih tidur, susah nak fokus, kita rasa penat sangat, rasa pergerakan kita menjadi lebih perlahan. You feel this is the symptoms that will unfortunately become more severe and worrying apabila kita rasa worthless. Kemudian ada excessive guilt the guilt feeling that we feel tidak setimpal dengan mungkin sesuatu perkara itu, dan unfortunately when this happens kita putus harap dan kemudian kita akan berasa nak matilah, maknanya suicidal thoughts, ideation will kick in. Na'udzubillah. Jadi the minimum, kalau kita ada minimum 5 simptom dalam jangka waktu minimum 2 minggu, there is a possibility kita cenderung untuk mendapat penyakit kemurungan. So this is where you need to seek professional help. Kalau kita ada 1-2 simptom pun bagus untuk kita tahu supaya we can do something about it. Okay, mental health during the MCO, I think we all know this. What is very unfortunate when this pandemic of COVID-19 happened, I think that we have not learned from history ataupun past epidemics, because we are actually still do not have a comprehensive mental health services seperti saya katakan tadi. So there is underinvestment kan. Kalau kita tengok tahun lepas kita punya tema untuk World Mental Health Day was actually to invest kan in mental health services. Jadi WHO sendiri pun memberi penekanan kepada perspektif funding itu sendiri, dan kemudian it created a lot of fear, anxiety and depression even in recovered patients. Maknanya mereka yang ada COVID-19 kemudian jatuh kepada anxiety, depression dan sebagainya. And then newly diagnosed patients peers, maknanya mereka yang normal dulu kemudian yang ada penyakit mental ataupun isu kesihatan mental, mereka tidak dibantu kerana as we know mental health services is not essential service. A lot lot of or most especially masa MCO pertama, mentari contohnya tidak dapat beroperasi, NGO tidak dapat kesihatan mental tidak dapat beroperasi, psychiatrists had to postpone appointments, walk-ins weren't allowed dan sebagainya. So people were not able to access mental health help, padahal dalam waktu pandemik adalah di mana orang lebih memerlukan bantuan dan pertolongan. Jadi ini apa yang kita lihat. Jadi daripada kajian sudah terbukti daripada MCO 1 dan kedua, first MCO especially apabila kita baru dalam pandemik COVID-19 ini, we didn't really understand the impact of the pandemic dan juga kita tidak faham the nature of coronavirus itu sendiri. It created a lot of anxiety, anxiousness, uncertainties dan kemudiannya it impacted the mental health of many if not all kan. Jadi much of it is stemmed from, of course, disruption of routine, terputus daripada social support system, job, financial struggles. Kalau kita tengok daripada MCO pertama, ramai kehilangan pekerjaan, the economy was really burdened in that sense. Walaupun kerajaan sangat membantu pada waktu itu, stimulus packages, moratorium dan sebagainya kan. And then many people had to adapt ataupun everyone really to a new way of life ataupun new norm and also like I mentioned earlier, domestic violence increase dan sebagainya. Jadi apa yang kita lihat, kita dah melalui pandemik ni dah setahun lebih dan kalau kita tengok daripada Women's Aid Organisation, talian kasih dan sebagainya, ada increment yang sangat tinggi sebenarnya, 44% and 57% domestic violence increase, PTSD, orang yang melalui trauma, staying with family dan sebagainya, OCD sebenarnya masa MCO pertama ramai orang yang bercakap tentang OCD, tetapi if you use the term OCD loosely then it will reinforce stigma sebenarnya. Tetapi kita dapat a glimpse sebenarnya because kita mula jadi orang kata paranoid kan, cuci tangan kan, pakai mask, lepas tu sanitize tangan, tak berhenti especially bila kita keluar, kan dulu seorang je boleh keluar rumah nak pergi supermarket beli barang dan sebagainya kan. So this is all the compulsions that happen dan sebagainya. So according to researchers sudah tentu dan data and statistics are out, there is an upsurge in anxiety disorders, PTSD, OCD, semua sekali sudah terbukti dengan adanya data dan statistik dan kemudian daripada sejarah seperti yang saya dah kongsikan tadi. Jadi menurut Menteri Kesihatan kita YB Datuk Seri Dr. Adham, 2020 punya what he said last year was mental health cases during the pandemic were due to job losses, loss of income, family conflicts, interpersonal relation problems, stigmatization of mental health kan, lack of access. So ini semua kita dah sebutkan tadi dan Menteri Kesihatan kita pun sebut benda yang sama. Jadi apa yang kita lihat, quarantine bila kita berada di dalam quarantine, it was linked to high rates of depression and anxiety in Malaysia, and hotlines have received of course an influx of calls. A total of 1,080 people attempted suicide but did receive treatment, alhamdulillah. So banyak sebenarnya, and paling baru saya rasa 2 minggu lepas apabila Kementerian Kesihatan Menteri Kesihatan kita sendiri did disclose calls that were made for this year from 1st of January until 21st of May. Boleh bayangkan 101,000 101,000 calls that were made to helplines, psychosocial support helpline bawah MOH and Mercy, talian kasih dan juga JAKIM punya helpline. In total, 91.2% called seeking emotional and psychological help. So this in itself, guys, reflects the current situation of mental health issues due to this pandemic of COVID-19. Okay, so these are, I think, some of the challenges in this new norm kan. Kita ada lack of structure, too many distractions, of course, especially when we are all in one place all together kan. Parents, like me, working, lepas tu ada anak-anak nak belajar secara atas talian, kemudian kita nak menjalankan tanggungjawab sebagai seorang isteri, ibu dan bekerja. So it's very difficult to set boundaries, and of course kita tak boleh nak exercise sangat, kita banyak duduk depan laptop lah kan, begitu. So how has MCO 3.0 worsened mental health condition? Of course ini semua berlaku dalam setiap MCO, dalam setiap pandemik ya sebenarnya. Resources are drawn away from mental health care towards pandemic care, obviously. Kita dah lihat daripada apabila tercetusnya pandemik COVID-19, priority are given to COVID patients. Apa yang berlaku kepada mereka yang ada NCDs, apa yang berlaku kepada mereka yang memerlukan rawatan, apa yang berlaku kepada mereka yang OKU physical dan sebagainya sebagai contoh, dan tambahan pula mereka yang ada penyakit mental. Apa yang kita lihat apabila katil tidak mencukupi, priority akan diberikan kepada mereka yang ada sudah tentu COVID-19 kan, and of course sudden and prolonged uncertainties due to MCO. So of course it worsens our mental health condition, sebab bila kita ada uncertainties ni kan, dia memang akan membuatkan orang rasa anxious, rasa anxiety, panic, sebab kita tak tahu, you know, not knowing is a big contributing factor to worsening your mental health condition kan. And of course predisposed to mental stress due to loss of livelihoods. I think kalau kita tengok unemployment rate, orang yang dah kehilangan pekerjaan dan kemudian mereka yang disabled contohnya, mereka yang OKU, mereka inilah yang pertama sekali dilepaskan ataupun are orang kata laid off ataupun terminated lah from jobs kan, unfortunately. So what is the solution guys? Apa yang patut dilakukan ya pada waktu-waktu sebegini? So apa yang kita lihat, coping with change in this new normal, no matter your method of coping, you will likely react to significant change in these 4 stages. So shock, biasanya ini yang berlaku lah. Kemudian anger and fear. Saya rasa kita sekarang ni mungkin lah ya, rata-rata saya tengok ramai orang dah penat kan. Apabila kita penat, kita akan rasa frustrated sebenarnya. Kemudian adjustment kan, kita terpaksa melakukan adjustment whether we like it or not. Dan kemudiannya kita akan able to move kepada acceptance. Jadi kalau kita lihat daripada MCO pertama dan kemudian apabila kita pergi ke MCO kedua, because of human beings being resilient, kita dapat adapt kepada changes, perubahan itu dengan lebih baik, alhamdulillah. Okay, jadi what can we do to take care of our mental health? Of course, having a routine seperti saya katakan tadi, get enough sleep guys, rest, try to do exercises kalau boleh, dan kemudian self-care ya. Jadi these are for students ya, stay connected, like I said, very very important. Try to stay active, kalau boleh keluar, get some fresh air, jangan buat doom scrolling ya kita panggil, scroll di social media. Try to detox daripada social media. Whatever information that you get it from reliable sources. Try to cut yourselves from reading too much on COVID. We need to be in the know, tetapi try to balance this part, and of course set work schedule and workplace at home. Okay, so having a routine, having a schedule, very very important, very very helpful, and try to distract and also redirect. There's so many things sebenarnya yang kita boleh buat sebenarnya di rumah ya, pada waktu lockdown ini. Jadi kita try and schedule fun activities, perkara-perkara yang kita suka, hobi, doing art, journaling, Netflix, kan ada banyak kan sekarang, ada TV box pun. So there's so many things that you can do, and I think what is so good about technology kan, untuk social connectedness, kita boleh video call keluarga, rakan-rakan yang jauh. A lot of people tell us that during this pandemic they have been able to reconnect with long lost friends, extended family members dan sebagainya. Ini sangatlah membantu. Dan kemudian focus on silver linings. One of the silver linings is this right now kan, kita dapat membuat perbincangan tentang kesihatan mental secara meluas. A lot of people now can relate, a lot of people now have more empathy. So ini adalah the silver lining sudah tentu. And of course practice self-compassion, forgive yourself. Very very important is always forgiving yourself. Adopt a growth mindset. I think as students we talk about this a lot. I think we take lessons from this as an opportunity to grow kan, and also now we realize that we don't take things for granted anymore kan. Dalam sesaat je Allah boleh tarik semuanya, and express gratitude more kan, and be mindful. these are all some things that we can do. So how do we maintain positive mental health? Ni secara rumusannya. So I'll just play it out, just 1 minute.
Hello. Welcome to MIASA Stay Connected. This is brought to you by MIASA Malaysia. These are ways to maintain positive mental health during this pandemic. Eat well and on time. Ensure you have enough sleep. Limit screen time. Get physically active, though outdoors. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. Connect with others. Rest when you feel tired. Create boundaries. Make a schedule or have a routine. Get professional help, for example clinical assessment, therapy. Talk to someone. Please connect and follow us as follows. Facebook, MIASA Malaysia. Instagram, MIASA Malaysia. Twitter, MIASA Malaysia. Email us at info.miasa@gmail.com. Our web.
Okay, all right. So those are some of the things, guys. So moving forward, just to share really quick, of course, we know this mental services should be part of essential service, integration of mental services into primary care. And this is because based on research, the first point of contact for 49% of Malaysians, mereka akan bertemu dengan GPs. Mental health promotion and prevention definitely crucial. Measures to reduce financial strain. Dan kemudian sharing of information seperti kita tahulah, saya dah katakan tadi, go to reliable sources, find new ways to treat patients effectively. Banyak dah kita buat. I see that a lot of NGOs, even the government is trying to migrate services online, ubat-ubatan pun boleh di post ke rumah dan sebagainya lah, and of course increasing investments in mental health services. Jadi the bright side of COVID-19 ni, of course more time spent with family, higher productivity, working from home, boleh buat banyak benda-benda yang dulunya tak ada time nak buat. Contohnya bila ada masa untuk develop new skills, adopt new technology, but of course not everyone has these privileges. We are facing the same storm but in different boats, kan? Okay, I know I don't have time, tapi really quick, I just want to talk a little bit about suicide because suicide rates have increased. And these are some warning signs, guys, of a person that is contemplating suicide. Sorry, ada error dekat the word contemplating suicide. So, negative view of self, a sense of hopelessness, frequently talking about death, kalau kita nampak aggressiveness, irritability, withdrawing from society, dah nampak macam tak nak cakap sangat, tak open up mungkin, feeling like a burden to others, drastic changes on mood and behavior. So these are the things, warning signs that you can see and you can do something about it. So true or false, really quickly, suicide happens without any warning. Not true, because the person that is contemplating suicide often gives warning signs and clues. Suicidal persons, people that contemplate, do they keep their plans a secret? It's not true. They usually, from what has happened from previous cases, most persons communicate their suicidal intent. Kemudian, persons who talk about suicide do not attempt suicide. This is also not true. Persons who talk about suicide often attempt it and may even be successful. So this is why this conversation is so important. Do they want to die? They want to end the pain, as I mentioned earlier, okay? Does discussing about the topic of suicide give someone the idea? Absolutely not true. No one can give someone the idea of suicide. What we need to understand, everyone, is suicidal thoughts is intrusive. Dia contohnya macam kalau kita demam, dapat sesama, batuk dan sebagainya, kita tak boleh tahan. Begitu jugalah kalau orang yang ada kemurungan, contohnya salah satu gejala adalah suicidal thoughts, maka dia juga tidak boleh menahannya. Tetapi apa yang penting untuk kita fahami adalah if you treat these symptoms, it can go away, okay? And treatment is available and you can recover from it. True or false, only experts can prevent suicide? Absolutely not true. It takes all of us to save lives, and each and every person can play a role just by listening, okay? So why should we care about this? Because a student's mental health can affect their academic performance, and we should always maintain a safe environment kan, and a student suicide can impact other students. And kalau kita tengok daripada research, apabila satu kejadian bunuh diri berlaku, dia sebenarnya memberikan impak kepada 100 lebih individu yang mengelilingi individu tersebut. Okay, so when one person ends their life via suicide, sebenarnya dia ada beberapa golongan yang akan terkesan ya. Of course the immediate family and friends paling terkesan. Kemudian kita ada the mental health professionals, the community, mungkin classmates, mungkin work colleagues juga terkesan, dan mungkin juga yang jauh ya, paramedics contohnya, mereka yang bertemu individu ini di clinical settings ataupun di kelas-kelas lain. Jadi sebenarnya dengan satu je kejadian bunuh diri boleh memberikan impak kepada ramai orang, dan mereka yang terdekat selalunya akan ada perasaan bersalah yang sangat tinggi, dan kalau mereka juga tidak menjaga kesihatan mental, mereka juga boleh mendapat penyakit mental dan jatuh kepada kegulungan. Okay, so how do we help? Ask, okay? It's called ACE, ask, care and escort. Show your concern, ask them, are they okay? A lot of people that contemplate suicide have told, others that during that time that they feel that they don't know whether to choose to live or die, they wished that somebody would ask them how they were. So please ask, are you okay? Care, listen to them, listen to understand, okay? Escort, never leave them alone, keep tabs on them, tell them that you are there if they need, to talk, for example. Okay, so basic helping skills, having empathy, of course, family support, listen to understand, work together with the person, and normalizing this discussion, very, very important. So I will share these slides so that you can at least get some understanding on how to get mental health help, yeah? Government punya services, NGOs dan sebagainya. So seek knowledge, encourage treatment, set specific goals that are realistic, take one step at a day, listen, and kemudian provide emotional support. Okay guys, so this is so important. And just to conclude, the pandemic has impacted the community greatly, especially those with mental health issues. So lockdowns or quarantines are necessary as protective measures, tetapi prolonged, of course kita semua tahu, kalau lagi lama kita akan sebenarnya eventually reach a deadlock. Jadi kepada anda yang belum mengambil vaksin, tolong ambil vaksin, register, dan kemudian please adhere to SOPs if you need to go out. If you're wearing a pink band, kalau ada kontak rapat, tolong quarantine diri, tolong menjadi masyarakat yang prihatin dan bertanggungjawab, because we've seen so many people walking around kan. And also people can progress through coping mechanisms, so try to learn and have effective coping mechanisms. Seperti apa yang saya kongsikan tadi, take care of yourself, talk to someone if you need help, and yang paling penting is for you to know that you're not alone. Help is available, treatment is available, and you can recover. Okay, so I think that is all. I would like to end this with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you very much everyone, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. That was really refreshing to hear something. Yeah. Okay, Alhamdulillah, satu perkongsian yang amat menarik bagi saya dan harapnya kepada hadirin yang ada di pada. It was very eye-opening. Pada pendapat saya, ramai yang mengalami depresi dengan penyesuaian norma baharu kerana terpaksa tukar corak kehidupan kepada keadaan yang agak berbeza dari kebiasaan. Okay, so we have around 10 minutes more. Di sini kita akan membuka ruang kepada hadirin jika terdapat sebarang persoalan yang ingin diajukan kepada Puan Anita. Boleh ya Puan Anita?
Boleh, silakan.
Alright, so berkenaan dengan topik hari ini. Alright, so I will go through the Facebook comments. Okay, so we have a few comments here, and one person, in La, asked, I always wonder, is anxiety the same with panic attack? And also, I wonder if mental health affect our pain receptor. This is from Imla. Yeah.
Okay, jadi anxiety dengan panic attack itu berbeza lah. Anxiety itu adalah emotion kan. Panic attack ni is many emotions and also physical symptoms in combination. Jadi contohnya apabila panic attack ni berlaku, biasanya it will start with dia macam akan creep in tau. So you will have palpitations, you will feel everything will be beyond your control. Kita akan rasa macam kita hilang kontrol sebenarnya, dan apa yang menakutkan seperti saya katakan tadi, you will start suffocating, susah nak bernafas sebenarnya, dan kita akan rasa seperti we actually believe that we're going to die pada waktu itu. Jadi dia punya physical manifestation tu adalah trembling ya, ataupun numbness, rasa macam perlu sejuk, rasa pening, rasa nak muntah, rasa nak pergi toilet, susah nak bernafas. Jadi all together in a split second. Jadi itulah rasanya apabila berlakunya panic attack. Dan panic attack ni apabila kita tidak tahu bagaimana nak manage, it can become a vicious cycle di mana it becomes a panic loop. Kita jadi macam kita dah recover daripada panic attack, lepas tu kita akan rasa takut, fear, panic balik bila next panic attack akan berlaku. Jadi it becomes this vicious cycle that if you don't break it, it will cripple you. Maknanya you will not be able to function. Sebabnya you akan sentiasa dalam keadaan fight and flight. Maknanya your brain ni akan stress all the time and you cannot break yourself from that vicious cycle. So sebab tu kalau kita dah mula dapat panic attack ni, kita kena belajar macam mana nak cope, effective coping mechanisms. Jadi breathing exercises are very very important if you are going through overwhelming anxiety ataupun panic attacks, because it will help you to calm yourself, okay? Sebab nanti kan bila kita nak dapat panic attack ni, kita akan palpitation tau. So macam mana kita nak reduce is to calm yourself. So the breathing, deep breathing ya, bukan breathing, the deep breathing technique tu kita kena lakukannya, and you will feel impossible pada waktu kita dapat panic attack tu. Kita akan rasa macam it's not working, but trust me, I promise you it works, okay? Tapi you have to practice. Maknanya kita jangan bila dapat panic attack je baru kita nak berlatih buat pernafasan. Jangan. Setiap hari semua orang sepatutnya buat breathing exercise, because sometimes kita ni hustle setiap hari, kita lupa nak bernafas dengan betul. So it will help to regulate your breathing. Jadi sebab tu breathing exercising, mindfulness, grounding techniques, relaxation techniques, semua ni penting sebenarnya untuk orang yang ada anxiety, orang yang ada panic attacks, okay? Affect our pain receptors, okay? Dia macam ni tau. Apabila kita ada panic attack, kita punya badan ni semua dalam keadaan yang sangat stres. Jadi bila kita dalam keadaan sangat stres, kadang-kadang satu kecil pun kita boleh rasa. You know, everything becomes so sensitive dah sebenarnya. Dan kemudian dia juga boleh orang kata kita boleh dapat psychosomatic symptoms tau. Maknanya kita akan rasa macam bila kita anxiety je sakit perut, bila kita anxiety je sakit dada, anxiety je sakit kepala, macam tu. So it can trigger macam acid reflux, kita boleh ada irritable bowel syndrome, banyak angin dalam badan. So itu yang kita boleh jadi demam, kadang-kadang kita ada low grade fever even. You know, anxiety ni, let me tell you, it does many pelik-pelik punya benda. So itulah the downside of having anxiety. Dan sebab tu bila orang ada extreme anxiety, dia akan jadi ada health anxiety. Dia akan fikir the extreme, sakit sikit je dia ingat dia cancer, sakit dada je dia ingat sakit jantung, macam tu. So that is why therapy, contohnya sebagai contohnya CBT, cognitive behaviour therapy, sangat membantu sebenarnya apabila kita bersedia untuk kita belajar cara untuk berfikir dengan betul. Sebab kadang-kadang kenapa benda ni berlaku juga adalah faulty thinking kan, cara pemikiran yang salah. Macam mana kita nak betulkan balik, you know, all these negative thoughts that we have to buangkan cara pemikiran yang negatif, gantikan dengan pemikiran yang positif to help us manage these thoughts of the future yang tak berlaku, mungkin tidak akan berlaku pun, yang mengganggu fungsi harian kita atau mengganggu kita daripada berfungsi sebagai manusia yang normal. Itulah jawapan panjang saya.
Alright. So I also have my own questions. Ada dua soalan yang saya nak tanya. So the first one is procrastination roots in anxiety, betul?
Not necessarily. It can work two
Not
ways juga
necessarily.
sebenarnya. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, so the second one is a lot of us students, we tend to procrastinate to finish our assignments. So what can you advise students on how to uh, prevent or manage your procrastinating time? Yeah.
I think sometimes it can be a good thing juga bila kita last minute ni sebenarnya, just to give you the positive side of it kan. Selalunya kalau orang yang suka procrastinate last minute punya orang-orang ni, because during the last minute time tu bila kita crunch, kita stress, kita lebih mindful. Jadi banyak benda kita boleh retain dalam otak, tapi dalam habis je exam semua hilang. Okay, in order to reduce procrastination, as I mentioned earlier, you have to have a schedule, guys. You have to write it down. You have to put it all in writing and follow, tapi jangan rigid, okay? So that you can organize yourself. Takkanlah satu subjek kena belajar 10 chapter, kita belajar 10 chapter dalam satu hari. So you organize yourself, kan? Subject 1, okay, today berapa chapter, subject 2, and then if you organize your time, your mental health pun akan jadi lebih tenang. Sebab kalau kita procrastinate, kita sudah tentu akan stress last minute. Itu yang dulu-dulu, during my time, when I was in college, there was a clinic near the college. Apabila dekat je time exam, doktor akan sediakan banyak ubat. Doktor tu sendiri cakap sebab banyak orang akan demam. Sebab semua orang buat last minute, contohnya, okay. So this is not what we want to do, guys. You have to take care of your physical health, take care of your mental health. Do not procrastinate, okay. Have a schedule, have a routine, set your timeline, be organized, especially in the pandemic of COVID-19, okay, because your support system ni akan jadi lebih kurang, coping mechanisms menjadi lebih susah. Contoh, you want to go out and exercise, nak pergi jogging ke, nak pergi main bola ke, whatever, you're not able to do that, right? So that means your coping mechanisms becomes lesser. But then at the same time, you have to maintain that same physical and mental well-being. Jadi jangan procrastinate, especially being in this lockdown, okay? It will really further detriment your mental and physical health.
All right, thank you. So we have around 2-3 minutes to fit maybe one last question. So we have one from, do you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay. We have one daripada Syahir Azfar. Kadang-kadang anak muda takut untuk bersuara tentang mental health mereka, terutama kepada parents dan kawan-kawan. Bagaimana nak bantu anak muda dalam mengatasi masalah mental mereka?
Okay, apa yang kita lihatkan sebenarnya, kenapa ramai orang muda takut untuk meluahkan, biasanya mereka ada perasaan tanggungjawab yang sangat tinggi. Mereka rasa tidak mahu ibu bapa rasa terbeban, dan kadang-kadang juga mereka tidak mahu ibu bapa rasa bersalah, sebab kadang-kadang mungkin ada faktor penyumbang itu daripada ibu bapa sendiri. Tapi I really urge you guys, families are the closest being to us, to all children. Parents are supposed to be the safe space for you. So please open up to your parents. I'm a mom. I would want my child to open up to me, and I would want to help my children. So please know that parents do want to help. Mungkin kadang-kadang cara ibu bapa tu tak kena, mungkin mereka kurang ilmu dan sebagainya. Tetapi I think this is an opportunity to educate, have open conversations. Even us at MIASA, next week, June 17th to 19th, guys, this is the first time that we are going to do a workshop for parents. Dan kita namakan workshop ni Mental Health 101 pun. Kita buat macam universiti, Mental Health 101 untuk ibu bapa, because kita buat survey tahun lepas dan kita dapati bahawa adolescent and university students, they told MIASA that they really want their parents to understand about their mental health struggles. Contohnya, I am feeling stressed. Mental health challenges are real. I want to be heard. I feel very pressured. I want you to understand me. So ini adalah some feedbacks that children and college students, university students have told us via the survey. So students really sebenarnya they want parents to know, tapi diorang takut reaction parents itu sendiri. Jadi saya harap kita dapat lebih terbuka. Kalau kita rasa tetap tidak boleh, okay, talk to an adult, that your parents trust. Okay, so use a third party. So mungkin aunty kita, mungkin cousin kita yang dewasa contohnya, untuk kita communicate dan kemudian mereka boleh menyampaikannya kepada ibu bapa kita. That is also a way. Ini juga apa yang kita lihat sebagai membantu daripada feedback pelajar-pelajar lah, Alhamdulillah.
Alright. Okay, persoalan itu sangat menarik. Terima kasih bagi Puan Anita untuk sesi perkongsian pada pagi ini dan juga maklum balas yang diberikan, pertanyaan yang diajukan. Alright.
Thank you very much Amin. Terima kasih semua. Thank you.
Semoga dapat bertemu lagi di lain hari. Alright. Terima kasih.
Okay. InsyaAllah. Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much everyone. Take care. Thank you Puan Syairah.
Terima kasih Puan Anita.
Assalamualaikum.